Oh boy, very common question. Your bills are getting high. You don't know if there's enough limits to cover these medical bills. What are you gonna do? All these social media guys say that I need to have a good 3-second hook. I don't know if that running was helpful or not. Anyway, here we go. So number one, your medical bills should very rarely be above the available policy limits because you're keeping a finger on the pulse to make sure that your bills don't go above the available policy limits. But how do I know what the policy limits are? How am I supposed to know that? Yep, this is a very common question as well, and there's multiple ways, several ways that you can get this information. Number one, just ask the insurance company and they may tell you. It's very rare, but they may tell you. Number two, ask them a different kind of question that may not tell you what the limits are, but maybe their answer will reveal to you if it's a minimum limits or more than a minimum limits, and then you'll kind of have an idea of what the limits are. Or you could pay for a middleman research company, which is what we do if we have a client, and 90% of the time, they're pretty accurate. But let's say that your bills are above the policy limits. Well, at least if I have a case where that's going on, we go back to every single medical provider and we get them to reduce their medical bills. I have never had a client in a situation where the case settles and they owe money on the medical bills. Never. I had one lady that had $500,000 in hospital bills and another $100,000 in future medical treatment. The policy limits was only $30,000, and I got the hospital and all these other medical providers to agree to take $12,000 total between all of them. It is one of the biggest underrated things that a law firm could do for you, that's for sure. But yeah, good law firms are watching your medical treatment. They're watching your medical bills and they find out what the limits are early on and they try to get you in that sweet spot where you can get the full policy limits offer. And then once you get the full policy limits offer, like I said, you go back to all the medical providers, get them to reduce the bills as low as possible to put as much money as you possibly can in the client's pocket. Now, the second part of your question about suing, if there's not enough limits, you can always attempt to sue the person if they don't have enough limits, but this is usually not a pathway that you would take because that means that you can't take the insurance offer limits until you file a lawsuit and go through the whole court proceedings and have a judge sign off on how much money this person has to pay you, and then the insurance company will give you the limits, but that person may never end up paying you. So usually the only other pathway is to see if you have underinsured motorist coverage, which you could use to add more value to your case, a higher settlement. If you'd like a free case evaluation, feel free to reach out anytime. God bless you and enjoy the rest of your Sunday.